Forward in faith.
Welcome to Riverside Park United Methodist Church. We've been part of the Riverside neighborhood since 1888, and for almost 120 years, we have been on this corner, making space for ministry and serving God right here. And with rich history comes the responsibility to honor it, maintain what we have, and faithfully use all that we have been given from generations past. I'm especially grateful for our trustees committee because they are the ones that look after the buildings, some of which are 100 years old. We know that the spaces have to feel welcoming and inviting. We know that we want spaces that are safe and able to do ministry. And our trustees in the last couple years have been working on a particular project. It started with one of our rooms that had some water damage and had some termites in it. It was one of those scenarios where the more they looked, the more they noticed, and the more we realized that there was water seeping in through the brick. There was water coming in through places where seams meet on the building. We had almost 7 air conditioning units over on our education building that were from the early 90s. We also realized that our restrooms could be more hospitable and clean feeling and welcome. And so there was a lot of work done. It was a really big project. And sometimes big projects like this, there's a ramp up, there's a lot of time and energy and fundraising that goes in on the front end. But we were in the middle of a pandemic, and our trustees were realizing that construction costs were continuing to rise and the needs of the building weren't going anywhere. In fact, there was real damage that it was going to get worse. And so they prayed and faithfully decided that the right decision was to move forward in faith and trust that what would be needed in the long run would also be covered, and that the church would be part of supporting the work, even moving forward. But in all things, I love that our trustees and our church council and our leadership maintained the heart and the focus that this isn't just about the building. It's about relationships that are formed here. It's about kids getting to know the story of Jesus. It's about people in our community who are fed by a kitchen that works. We are here to serve God's purposes. We're here to make space for God's ministries.
Forward in faith, the gift of generations.
Hi, my name is Emily Rayberg, and I have a long history at Riverside Park United Methodist Church. My mother and my grandmother came here in the mid-1920s, and I was born into the cradle roll, now called the nursery, of course, and I was christened 93 years ago this coming June. As a youth in this church, I was founded in my faith and my love for Jesus through participation in church, of course, and Sunday school and youth group, bell choir, and church camps. And I made many lifelong friends during this time. I was married in this church, and Gordon and I worship and continue our spiritual growth. I was blessed to see my children and my grandchildren christened and married in our beautiful sanctuary. And they've continued their spiritual growth, having the same experiences that I had here when I went through. And I also have a couple of great grandkids that you might see running around here occasionally. And you know, every family has joys and sorrows and trials, and our family had numerous ones. Church family was always there to celebrate the happy times with us. And when the difficult times came, they were always there to cover us in prayer, lovingly care and support us. And now that Gordon and I are in our late senior years, the church is also still there to support us. My vision for Riverside Park is that it will continue to be a beacon on this corner for families and for all people to come and know Jesus and to know his love for them, as it has been here for us and my family for many generations. I hope that you will join me making this possible as we move forward in faith together.